Well, this just came in the mail. It's the Yamaha Trumpet Maintenance Kit. Let's take a look inside, shall we? It's got a nice plastic envelope and a whole lot of stuff in here. Let's see, polishing cloth, bottle of valve oil, looks like chapsticks, but it's actually the slide grease, and a couple of brushes. Now this whole kit's about $19 if you can get free shipping on Amazon. And the valve oil, this is their synthetic regular version, and that's just by itself is about $9.30. Add the slide grease, which is $6.55. So just for these two things here, you're looking at $15.85. So everything else is $3. Now, this valve oil is kind of on the higher end of the price range for synthetic valve oil, but Yamaha uses supposedly a protectant, which helps reduce the corrosion of the raw brass inside the valves and the trumpet. So I guess it's worth it if it protects your horn. So what are all these brushes for? Well, this brush here is for cleaning up tubing, and also to use it, like if you're going to clean the inside of tubing like so. Now the nice thing is it's got that rubber tip, if you can see that on the end there, and that protects the brass from getting scratched from the metal. So Yamaha has thought about this and put in some high quality brushes in here. And this is a mouthpiece brush. I'm not sure if you really need that, because if you look, if you had a mouthpiece going into this way, and there's a hole, so it really isn't necessary, but it's actually kind of a nice feature so that it doesn't scratch your mouthpiece. And this is the proverbial snake. Now, this doesn't have a rubber tip on the end, but they've rotated or spun the wire around the brush so that the brush will actually hit first and kind of cushion the metal from hitting anywhere inside of your horn. There's two sizes, the thicker and the thinner end, and you use this when you're cleaning out your horn. So I've got to make a video of cleaning my horn because it's been over a month since I've been playing it. And subscribe and you'll get notified when I finally post that video. So the polishing cloth is just a microfiber cloth. It's a small one. But what I like about it is that the edges, there's no like a seam, where they sew it. Because typically that thread is just regular, cotton thread. And that can actually scratch things, where this one, it's just, cut with some kind of a machine, and then looks like they kind of seal the edge so it doesn't fray. So nice cloth that, you can use it all over and it won't scratch your horn. Now the last thing that was in this kit is this rather extensive guide. If you open it up here, it takes you through basically everything: how to oil your valves, how to use the slide grease, or the chapstick in this case. So this just has, I think you just use it just like you would a chapstick. Rub that on the ends of the tubing, as they're showing here. The polishing cloth, they say to use a cleaning rod for a trombone. Or in my case, what I just use is a bit of heavy-duty fishing string. So I'll tie it to the end of just one corner, tie it on, feed this through the lead pipe after I take off the main tuning slide, and then it allows me to just wipe off the lead pipe. Make sure that that's dry before I put away the horn. The other thing that this guide goes through is how to use the snake. So as you can see, they put it in through there, and as you'll see when I use the mouthpiece brush, just use Dawn. I find that Dawn is the simplest degreaser, and it cleans out nicely. It doesn't leave any residues really, so it's a really great, inexpensive thing that you probably have under your kitchen sink to be able to use to clean your horn. So why would you use a mouthpiece brush? Well, I've got two mouthpieces here. This one's fairly new, only a couple of weeks old. And you look inside, it's pretty shiny and clean. And you look at this really old one. And let's see, I don't know if you can see how dark it is in there, but it's also got some, let's just say, debris inside this thing. All right, let's try to see if this mouthpiece brush will help us clean this puppy up. So the first thing I do is get some water under this guy. Just pour it through. And then the easiest thing to use is dishwashing soap. So Dawn, it's plain, it's simple, it's a degreaser. There's not a lot of stuff in it, no perfume and that kind of stuff. So I'll just wet the mouthpiece brush and add just a drop of Dawn on here. That's more than a drop. And as you know, this stuff goes a long way. So let's see if I can clean this puppy up. So you notice this tip is kind of nice. It doesn't scratch or anything. So get some water in there. Get a nice, so you can see the nice foaming action of the soap doing its job. Okay. Clean off the brush. Clean off the mouthpiece. Clean it all off. Rinse everything off nice. And what does it look like inside? Ah, much cleaner. So as you can see, you can actually see a reflection in there. So if you're wondering, that's why you use mouthpiece brush. But if you notice, there's still some dirt or some tarnishing on the throat. So let me use the mouthpiece brush this way. See if I can't clean that off. And as you can see, that does clean it off a little bit better. Okay, so now let's compare it to our brand new one, all shiny and clean, to our old one. And it's much better. Actually, our brand new one probably could use a little bit of a quick clean, so clean that out. It's amazing. This thing is only, like I said, several weeks old, and it already got some stuff in there. Quick brushing and nice and clean. So that's how you clean a mouthpiece. So this cloth, what I'll do is I'll just take a corner, take my 80-pound fishing string, and I just tie a loop. And I'll just loop it around here. Pull it tight. And now I'll be able to pull this, feed, this end. I'm going to have to cut this off, but yeah, just feed one end into the lead pipe and dry my horn off. So what I'll do is I'll just simply cut off this end here so that it doesn't scratch anything. Cut that off nice and close. And then I'll measure out, roughly the length of my lead pipe. So if this is the end, and roughly about here, I'll give myself a little bit of extra room, but I can just cut off this excess. And now I have something to dry my horn. Now what you're thinking, this whole cloth, no way it's going to fit through the narrow part of this lead pipe. Yeah, if you scrunch it up, even if there's just no way, it's way too thick. So I think if I cut it back to like maybe here, that's small enough that should do the job. Let me give it a shot. Okay, I've cut it down to size. roughly a fourth of this cloth. And so after I play, I'll just feed it through the receiver end first. Come out to the other side. Let's see if the size works. Perfect. So that's how you keep your lead pipe dry after every time you play. The reason I'm paranoid about it, I think I mentioned, this lead pipe actually rotted out because it says, when I used to play, I didn't wipe it down, didn't take care of it, didn't wipe out all the moisture, aka spit. So the lead pipe actually rotted out. So by doing this, you'll keep your horn clean. Your lead pipe, the thing that gets the most moisture from your playing, will stay nice and dry, and your horn will last a good long time.